Hi there, I'm Linda Schiller Hanna. You've arrived at Inner Kid Keto. This is segment 71. Got a whole new topic for you today. It's called Don't Pick on Me. Don't pick on me. Don't pick on me. Okay? I got some stories about this. There's a thing they say in the 12-step program, we're sick as we are secret. Well, I'm going to talk to you about some of my other secrets, things we haven't mentioned so far yet in these 70 videos up until now. I was born with fetal alcohol syndrome. That means that my mother drank during pregnancy. I think she did it with all three of us kids. I ended up having open heart surgery at 5, so did my sister, also at 5. My brother died of cancer at 49. I don't know if that's connected. But if you want to look up fetal alcohol syndrome, there are all kinds of behaviors and issues that arrive if a child experiences alcohol in their system when they're in the womb. They said there is no amount of alcohol okay for a developing infant, a developing embryo, not an ounce. Back in 1948, when I was born, this was not common knowledge. Mothers were allowed to drink normally, or at least moderately in those days. That said, there have been some learning disabilities, the ADD. I have figured out I have sensory processing disorder, the hypervigilance, the hypersensitivity, which made me psychic, which was one positive side, but hyper fragile in other ways. And I'm going to talk about something that 20, 50 years ago I couldn't talk about at all. Not at all. Man, maybe more like 60 years. Around the age of 15, I started pulling my hair out. I now know the name for that is Trichotillomania. It started when our neighbor came over with her son, and she said, "Look, he's pulling his hair out." And we all went, "Oh!" And everyone went, "Ah!" And the little kid was shamed. And it was within 24 hours, I thought, well, I wonder what that feels like. Don't try it, okay? Just in case. So that night I started pulling it out and I was instantly hooked. I could not stop. And throughout the next 30, 40, 50 years, I pulled and pulled, mostly on the top of my head. I still have little short hairs on the top of my head because of years of damage. If you think my hair looks funny, that's probably part of it. It's very challenging to quit. I had lots of therapy because of it. I had a lot of medication. The ADD was diagnosed. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Don't need to belabor that, but I wanted to mention it. And if any of you have this issue or know of someone with this issue, I want to let you know that I do have a YouTube video on that, and it's titled Trick Help with Linda Schiller Hanna. Trick is T-R-I-C-H, help, and it's my name, Linda Schiller Hanna. And I have a second one, my Trichotillomania story. And if nobody believes I was fat, my Trichotillomania story shows me on a full stage, showing my fat belly, and also my journey into the land of abundance and happiness with my name, Linda Schiller Hanna, and it shows me with my fat belly. So if you think I haven't lost this weight, I've lost this weight, and there's evidence. But anyway, I learned about a wonderful person, Temple Grandin. I spent a summer working with autistic kids, and so I became fascinated with autism as well. And there is a movie called Temple Grandin, Temple space Grandin, Grandin. If you have an autistic member in your family, that is a very highly recommended movie. If you have trichotillomania or know someone that is a highly recommended movie. It's her biopic. It's based on her life story. But the significant part of the Temple Grandin biopic is the thing where she made herself a squeeze machine. She worked on a cattle ranch that owned by her aunt down in Texas, and they would squeeze the animals while they were giving them shots and stuff. And she noticed that the animals, the cows, all calmed down when they were squeezed. And because Temple was so hypersensitive, she noticed that it felt good on her, so she made herself a squeeze machine. And I ultimately was able to get the idea that for the hair pulling, instead of pulling out, I needed to push in. And so I invented a hat, and I bought brushes with this kind of a little prickly pointy stuff in it. You get them at the dollar store. This piece will tear out, and then I sewed it inside of like a knit brownie cap, or a navy cap, and sewed that all inside 4 or 5 pieces, so that every time I wanted to pull my hair, I would push instead of pulling, pushing, and it helped me stop, because it was the tactile pressure I wanted, not necessarily the pulling it away, but the pressure. So even if you used your fingernails and pushed in, just try that if you know someone with these issues. You're not on my channel randomly, and maybe you'll know someone 5 years from now who has this issue. A lot of us are very secretive about it. There's an enormous amount of shame and sadness associated with it. I didn't go to a professional haircut for years, because the first time I did, the hairdresser said, "What's this?" And I just melted down. I couldn't talk about it. I would have people ask me about my hair, and I'd say, "What's wrong with your hair?" And I'd run out of the room. I couldn't talk about it. They say in program, "You're sick as you are secret." At 77, I can talk about it. I even have some help for it. Hypersensitivity is part of my story, and it may be part of your story. And hypersensitivity may be part of why we overeat and cope with emotional overwhelm. Another movie I want you to check into, if you haven't seen it, is As Good as It Gets, with Helen Hunt and Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson has OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, can't step on cracks, is very hyper about his cleanliness and his rituals. You'll probably relate to that too if you have any kind of OCD. And there's a wonderful line in that movie where he says, once he falls in love with this woman, "You make me want to be better." Love can break through our walls and help us want to be better. There's a lot of help out there. None of it's perfect. I've tried it all, but I'm giving you the bottom line for things that help me. So why am I even bringing this up on Inner Kid Keto? Because if you're a person that's working on your insides, not just, losing weight and trying to look cool or comfortable and cute in your clothes, all these other layers can come up. Many of us have multiple issues that we're dealing with, and that overeating helped us cope. Now that we're not using the food to cope, we need new tools. So that's why I say, don't pick on me. I did have help with a healer, a gentleman who's now in spirit, but he wrote a book, and I've lost his name right offhand, but he did some energy work on me, and I felt an entity leave my body when he put his hands on me. Walter Weston, that's it. He wrote Pray Well and a bunch of other stuff. And when he put his hands on me and gave me healing, I heard the entity fall out and hit the opposite wall with a thud. It was unbelievable. And I shrieked kind of and cried and had a huge release. So sometimes it can be a form of possession too. My metaphysical side, I don't like to play with the dark side. I do a lot of prayer work, have Archangel Michael on my roof all the time, have a big golden ball of light around me all the time. But some of that darkness had gotten in with all the trauma that I grew up with. Anyway, I'm free of that. I don't pull my hair out anymore. I still have some damage, but thank God I don't pull it out anymore. I used to bite my nails. I don't do that anymore either. A lot of recoveries happened. And in about a week, I should finally get my new teeth back, my little partial that the dogs ate. If you've been wondering why I have holy teeth, some of you are new on board, don't understand why I have these missing teeth. Well, I had a partial, I left it on the table and the dog ate it, and I'm waiting 3 weeks for the new one to come in. I've only done this 4 times. I hope that's the last time I set myself up for shame and not looking my best, because I really don't prefer this. I would like to say it's not my priority. Not my priority. All right, so I gave little Linda a nice soft little bunny with a pencil. How cute is that? You know, I didn't give birth to her. I just bought her. I never had children. I knew better. I knew I was way too fragile to have children. But I can have an inner child and I can love her just as she is. And she doesn't have to pull her hair out. She doesn't have to bite her nails. She can just be loved. And I can love her as she is. And you can love your own inner child as he or she is right now. I have one more image here. I set this up for an ACOA convention talk I did. And I have this little baby inside of this ball in the word denial on it. And we can be stuck in the denial of our trauma, our agony, our fear, the things that happen to us. But we can also start to come out. And so I'm encouraging you to come out of denial, be reborn, be free, take care of yourself. We do not have to be in that jail of denial. We can be in freedom. We can be in joy. I'm going to give the baby to the baby. And one more image, because why not? I like imagery. Here's the big bad wolf. Big bad wolf wanted to pull my hair. Big bad wolf wanted to make me overeat. Big bad wolf wanted me to hate myself. Big bad wolf let me stay with abusive people too long. Big bad wolf made me feel like I had no value. I am firing the big bad wolf. Goodbye. Have a nice life elsewhere. Go away, big bad wolf. I'm throwing you away. Bye-bye. Today, I love me. Today, I love you. And I want you to learn to love you a whole lot more than you already have. I'm not going to belabor this. I've said my piece. If you have questions about trichotillomania or fetal alcohol syndrome, you can look. There's a lot of information on the internet, or you can email me, linda@lightworker22.com, and I'll give you some insights if you're interested or open. Don't forget the movie Temple Grandin. Don't forget the movie As Good as It Gets on OCD. But most of all, don't forget to love yourself. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Linda Schiller, Hanna, signing off. Bye-bye for now.